Aloha kids! Today we are on the tallest mountain in the world. And today we're going to be continuing talking about some of these endemic species that evolved here in Hawaii. One right next to me, this beautiful silverleaf plant, is called the hinahina, or the Mauna Kea silver sword. And as the name infers, we call it the silver sword because of these light silvery hairs on it. Now, this is currently a critically endangered plant and is one of the most rare plants you can find on our planet at the moment. Now, some of the unique things about the hinahina is those silvery hairs. Now, you may ask yourself, why does it have silvery hairs? Okay, and the reason for that is because we're at an elevation of 9,000 feet at the moment. This plant only grows between the elevations of 8,500 and 12,500 feet. Now, what happens when you get higher up? You get higher into the Earth's atmosphere. So that means the ultraviolet light is much harsher. So these silvery hairs on the plant act as a natural defense system to help repel some of those harsh ultraviolet light so it doesn't get too much and damage the plant. Now, even though it is critically endangered, it is still very hard to repopulate this plant because of its cycle. Now, right here, directly in front of me, is a keiki, or child plant. And over here with these stalks, these are the more mature plants. Now this keiki plant will eventually turn into the mature plant, okay? And how it does that is it blooms this beautiful stalk, all right? And a bunch of these flowers come out of it. Now as you can see, all the flowers on this plant unfortunately are dead. Now these flowers will drop, and then that is the pollination process, okay? Now, the bloom only happens once in its lifetime, and that could happen anywhere from 3 to 90 years of its lifetime. So that is why it is so hard to repopulate it. So another species that is native here to Hawaii that you'll find in the higher elevations is the mamane tree. All right, the mamane is a hardwood here in Hawaii that was used for fence posts, tools, etc. Now, an easy way to identify the mamane is these beautiful yellow flowers. Yeah. Another case of adaptive radiation that occurred here in Hawaii was between this tree and a native bird species called the palila. The palila is this puffier yellow bird. Now, this tree also bears a legume. And in this legume right here, you will find a seed that is of a yellow or orange color sometimes. The more orange it is, the less mature it is. All right, more yellow, the more mature. Now, this seed has a toxin in it that is poisonous to all known living creature. The adults, palila, will eat the caterpillar or the butterfly that is able to eat that seed and build up this tolerance, as well as feeding their fledglings that food source. So by the time those fledglings are fully grown, they have no consequences from eating the seed or the flowers that it bears. Mamane. So right here, we have another native species that you can find all over the island. This is called aweoweo. And aweoweo is also the name of a native fish here. One of the reasons why this plant got its name is because once you mush, or...
Yeah, I can smell that from here.
You can smell the fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, once you grind the leaves together, you get a fishy smell to it. Do you smell that, kids?